rain in your garden, you know that you can.
My baby gon' love me down. Don't make a sound, just love me down. My baby gon' love me down.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Blunts and Briefs. Thank you for joining me. I hope everybody is doing well. And in this installment, we are going to be going over some stretches and yoga poses that will help you get to sleep. Let's say you have an interview the next day, or you're nervous and or anxious and you're having a bit of trouble sleeping. You're having some anxieties and or just some sleep pattern frustrations. These yoga poses and stretches will help you get to sleep and potentially stay in a more relaxed and deeper sleep. So let's get our yoga mats out. Of course, we already have our blunt rolled, so we're definitely going to take a couple of pulls of that before we get centered and before we get our bodies relaxed and get into some of these stretches. First, we're going to start with the butterfly stretch and pose. I've heard some people say that it's not really good to bounce your legs, but I just like to get into my stretches and get into my poses a little bit deeper, so I do recommend bouncing the legs. It will help you loosen up that area along your joints and your inner thigh. And you can also get into a deeper butterfly pose. I normally just put my hands behind my back and use my hands as sort of like a support, so to speak, so it can support the lower extremities of my body. And I will usually just sit in that pose for about 8 to 10 breaths. And from that pose, we're going to turn either left or right, whichever way is comfortable for you, and we're going to go into a seated forward fold. This stretch is going to help the back, the spine, your hips, hamstrings, and this is a good stretch to help with overall flexibility. Next, we're going to go into the child's pose and stretch. I usually wiggle around a little bit. I know it may look a little odd, but I like to find that center, and I just like to move around until my muscles kind of relax into the pose. And it is a good stretch for the arms and the back, the spine, upper spine, lower spine. And from there, you can stand or sit up a little bit and widen your legs there for a widespread child's pose. Your body will start to relax in these poses. Sometimes you'll feel a little bit of pulling and a little bit of a slight pain in certain areas along your hip, your hamstrings, and maybe your lower back. So definitely take it easy and use blocks if you need to. From there, we're going to go into a deep stretch child's pose, where we kind of arc and arch the back a little bit with our tail up in the air, taking deep breaths and going back into a deeper pose. From there, we're going to work out on a wall stretch here. This is going to be legs up the wall stretch. From there, you can roll the lower balls of your feet and roll your ankles. You can flex your ankles and flex your feet and point your feet. That helps. And from there, we'll go into a figure 4 stretch, bringing down your right hand or your left leg, pretty much making the figure 4. That leg is going to stretch the thighs and also to open the hips. And from there, we'll just repeat on the opposite side. Flexing and pointing the feet. Just finding that center of a more deeper stretch. Coming up from that wall split, we're going to go back in the position of legs up the wall. And we're going to end our wall stretches. As you can see here, I'm kind of moving a little slower. I hope this signals to you guys that these stretches actually do work, putting you in a more restful state. From there, we're going to go to knee to chest. And I like to flex some of my stretches to get a deeper stretch. So I just literally raise my leg here and try to find a nice spot on the bottom of my foot and try to press that leg down so that my knee hits my chest for a deeper stretch. Sometimes you may feel some tightness in your thigh, in the back of your leg. You can also, as you're stretching and flexing, you can rub your legs and or massage your limbs to make the stretch not all that painful. So we're going to repeat on the opposite side. Flexing and pointing the feet. I find that really helps the stretch, especially when it comes to leg stretches. All right, and after we finish that, we're going to stay in that same position, but we're going to transition into a spinal twist, either using your right leg and or your left leg, whichever one is more comfortable for you. I also like to try and position my arms so that I can feel more of a flex and stretch throughout the body, because the spinal twist seems easy, but it does pack a punch. It does deliver a stretch, getting your back, your hips, and your torso, giving them all a pretty good stretch. And from there, we're going to keep in this same outline of position, but we're going to lift our torsos and pelvis up toward the sky for a bridge pose. legs to heaven. And from there, we'll transition into the plow stretch. This is one of my favorite stretches and yoga poses. From there, we center ourselves back in the middle of our mat for an angled hamstring stretch. This is a key stretch that helps with flexibility and doing the splits. If you guys have any questions when it comes to splits, and if you guys would like a split tutorial video, definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I will work on a split tutorial video for you guys. As I said, I like to get deep stretches, so I point and flex my feet, rotate my ankles, and I kind of move around and bounce just a little bit to try to get a overall feel of the stretch and what feels comfortable to me, or I try to find out what is discomforting to see if I need to target that area and or if I'm doing something wrong. From there, opening both legs to a seated middle split. Stretching from side to side. This helps with the lower lumbar of the back. Also helps the spine. When you're more comfortable in this pose, and if you're not experiencing any major tightness and or pain, you can go for a deeper stretch. Rolling the neck, rolling the shoulders. Flexing from side to side while in the split position definitely helps the lower back. And after that, we're gonna go back into the beginning pose, which was the butterfly, for our cool down. Taking deep breaths in and out. And ending yoga pose and stretch session. These poses in this video will help you get rest, feel more restful, and ultimately go to sleep. I hope that you all enjoyed the video. Definitely don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notifications to be updated and notified on when I upload more content such as this. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys have any pointers and or tips, I am a beginner, so everything is definitely wanted and appreciated. Hit me up in the comment section below, and take care.